It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours. It costs that much cause I don't have superpowers. So you need to pay for my skills cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours. You need to pay for my skills cause exposure doesn't pay the bills. It costs that much cause it takes me fucking hours.
Welcome back, Cotter. Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing fine wherever the hell you are on this rock that we call Earth. I'm your Uncle Warren, and the question of the night, stoned or not stoned? If I fall asleep, you'll have your answer. Wait, bro, who's naked? No, so Les Bones, that Drunk Prude Alice, you know, that's the closing song for the show, right? But in the closing video, there's me shirtless on the video there eating a sandwich. What's up, Fred? We're gonna shout everybody out here in just a second. But if you're new to this neck of the woods, obey the chicken, or there will be gnashing of teeth and lamentations if you do not do as the chicken tells you. So yeah, like, share, subscribe if you're new to this joint. Let me bring in Sweet Pea. There she is. Look at you. 80s school pictures.
That's right.
80s school pictures, and then with like lines and stuff in the background to make it look all modern.
That's right. Those neon lines.
Have you ever seen high school photos from the 80s?
Yes.
Like high school yearbook photos? Oh my God. Those things are awful. Especially like everybody's got the butt cut, you know, it's like all nice and split in the middle there, you know. And
no, the 80s ones that I like is where it's like a black picture, but then you have like the face right here, like one face looking at you, and then like at the top right you'll have that same person facing sideways looking up.
Yeah, one picture, yeah, one's like this, and then up in the corner it's like, oh,
them, yeah, like they're angels or something.
Jesus, why did you let me take this 80s photo? That's how I know there's that's how I know there's no God, is for the fact that the 80s high school pictures actually happened. So let's say hi to everybody. We have a plethora of folks here tonight with us. We got Willie Bragg is here with us. He was live earlier. This comment says, when I had a fuller head of hair and it was thick and black, I had an emo haircut before it was fashionable. Nice. I always looked like one of the Allman Brothers because I always had straight, long hair. It just really, yeah, it was not a good deal. Yeah, super 70s. If you've ever seen Dazed and Confused, those guys with the long hair and the butt cuts, that was me in high school. So Gamer, good to see you. We got Velvet Trance here, good to see you. Les Bones, of course, one of our producers here. Good to see you, pal. Miss Brandy, as always, a pleasure. Who else we got here? We got Rick. Believe Rick is on the INN channel watching us tonight. So yeah, we're streaming on a lot of different channels. We started a couple weeks ago doing that. I talked to my buddy Indy Left, one of my brothers at INN, and he said, "Why don't you ever put a secret show on the INN channels?" And I said, "Are you psycho? We do shit like weird dildos. You think you want that on INN?" He goes, "Yeah, I'll take it. I'm fine. You want weird dildos?" I'm just look. Help me to help you. That's what I say. If you want dildos on your channel, who am I to judge? Steve Wolfbrandt, one of the best radio names out there. It's good to see you, Steve. Steve says she's hot. Who are you talking about, Steve? I called you out.
Who's hot? Wait, what?
Tell us who's hot, Steve. VS Adams making a plethora of food. Yes, chicken. Speaking of which, let's check in with the chickens while we're on the subject. Hopefully this will work. Survey says yes. Chickadee doo-dahs. There's like 25 people watching this stream, this chicken stream, right? Mm-hmm. And now we're all watching it. There's 19 people watching us, and there's 25 people watching chickens. And of course, they're all talking about in the comment section. They're talking about like how Project Bluebeam and stuff like that. All your conspiracy theories and one-stop shopping. All right, let's get back to this. I've done this show twice stoned, and now that I'm somewhat sober, I forgot how to do it. I forgot how to do shit sober. Fred Edward in the house. Good to see you. Who else we got here? I think that's everybody right now. For now, I'm pretty sure people will start filing in. Beauty and the Boomer is over for the evening. Good show again from Oz and Shonda. Love those folks. Marcus is probably still going strong on the political matrix. So those are our show openers, and like I said, we're the after party. Anthony, our resident trucker, good to see you, brother. Hopefully you are safe and well wherever you are, and that goes for everybody. Not just the truckers. It goes for all the fam. Let's see. I think I got everybody. If I didn't get you, it's because I'm blind. There's Jimmy in the chat mixing it up with folks. Yeah, so I think I got everybody. Think so. Yes. Oh, Dolores from Around the World with Brandy and D is here. Be sure to check out their show too. They have their own YouTube channel, and they're growing. Yeah. They're growing at a pretty good
show tonight too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just getting better. I think they're starting to find their flow a little bit, and so that's good. I like to see all people doing well in the space that are good folks that want to do stuff for other people. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Help support those folks. Oh, my future ex-wife was here earlier too, Noli D. I don't know if she's still here or not. She may be lurking in the shadows of the night, just like Pat Benatar sang about. We're running with the shadows of the night. I forgot the rest of it.
Good song.
Happy what? What's up, Kelly? Good to see you. She says happy Ben Franklin Day. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Do we all get $100 bill? I would celebrate that. He says, "Oh, it's Jimmy. I didn't recognize. Jimmy is beautiful." Aw.
Thank you. It's the lighting. It's so much different today than normal. That's why. It's the lighting. It helps.
Steve, you're such an ass kisser, dude. Seriously.
Love it. Love it. I'm here for it. I'll take it.
You're getting compliments. Of course you're here for it. Why wouldn't you be here for it? Oh, that's disgusting. How dare you, Steve, say I'm beautiful? Those are that's violence. It's not violence. So insult to injury. So I ran out of weed, right? And also the same day I ran out of weed, I broke my little bubbler. It was like how that movie Final Destination, right? You ever seen that movie, Final Destination?
Yes.
Well, you're just blowing the whole joke for me here. Just smile and nod, and we'll get through this night. Okay, all right. There you go. All right. So what's up, Colin? Good to see you. So Final Destination is like all these weird things happen to kill people. You know, like somebody will be taking a shower and the water will spill out onto a floor, and then they step out on the floor and they slip, and then like all these crazy things happen. So I have that happens to me in my life, only instead of killing me, it just does like fucked up stupid shit. You know, like stuff. If I planned to do something, like if I wanted to break that bubbler in the fashion that I broke it, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I don't have those skills. But because, you know, life hates me, all the stars aligned for me to actually break the shit. So, you know.
Yep.
Anyway, so that's just kind of like my little rant for the night. How are you doing, sweetie? Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm great. I've got a silicone bong, so nothing broke over here.
Nobody likes a bragger. Jimmy, is it? Hey, Signs, good to see you.
Sir,
what is up?
A Wendy's.
Wait, I've got the thing. I've got this thing. No. It's like it's got the well, I can't do it now, but it has the little thing, and then you put it on, and it goes, "Sir, this is a Wendy's."
That's right. Wait, I got mine. Wait. Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. We do not allow donuts as earmuffs in this place. Okay, thank you. You know, white powdered, jelly filled. Put them big ass things back on again. Let's see them.
Stop calling them donuts. This is my
Look
baby.
at that big ass. You teeny tiny though.
Yeah, so these are just regular headphones. I just have a little ass head. That's all.
Right. So if it was on a normal ass head, then they wouldn't look like you've got like two white powdered jelly filled donuts on your ears, right?
Yeah.
That's your gaming rig, right? Is that what you use for gaming?
Mm-hmm.
No, I only say that because I'm jealous because I just have these.
They work. They look great. They don't look like two giant donuts on your head.
It looks like someone from Star Wars has put some device on my head and is trying to get me to tell them where the rebel forces are. I will never tell you. Okay, I'll tell you. It hurts too much. I swear, yeah. If people need to get answers out of me, it's not going to get to the torture phase. I will just say, look, I'll tell you what you need to know right now. We can skip this whole torture thing because I don't really do well with pain. So I'll tell you whatever you want. I'll sell out anybody. I don't give a fuck.
That's right.
That's right. You got to look out for number one.
See, I don't. I'm like the complete opposite because I can't handle pain either. But like pain makes me go into seizures. So I always tell myself like I'm the worst person anybody could ever kidnap because if you were trying to have fun with me, like, you know, by torturing me and shit, I would just end up dying like from the first infliction on me. I'd just seizure done. It's the worst kidnapping ever. I'd be horrible. I'd be no fun.
I don't know how people would kidnap me. What's up, Oz? Good to see you. Great show earlier, bud. I don't know why. First off, there would be zero reason to kidnap me, right? Not rich, not an attractive person, not not anybody important, don't have any power, anybody. Like, if somebody kidnaps me, I would just feel sorry for them. You know what I mean? I'd just like, I mean, I was like, look, I'll get in the van. You don't even have to tie me up. I'm not going anywhere. I'll do this for you, buddy. You know, this is for you. I will be your hostage because you're a sad person. And you don't know how to do this right. You have no idea why you kidnapped me. Because I'm not providing anything. I'll tell you anything you want to know about people, but that's it. So I'm trying to talk a little bit more because the last couple of weeks you had to pinch hit for me. So I was a little on the slow side, right?
Holding down that fort.
Wait, what? To milk you? I don't get the reference. Thanks, gamer. This was a friend of mine. They went to go see all 22 of the MCU movies that were out at the time. It started from Iron Man and went to Endgame. 22 movies. My friend went and stayed in the movie theater 2.5 days, right? I know, right? Crazy. So they
do they have a
they
weed
were in
section?
No.
Fuck that.
But I mean, you could go outside and smoke if you wanted to, but my friend doesn't smoke. So anyway, but yeah, they were there for 2.5 days watching 22 movies. But they got like free popcorn and some, like, I think, I don't want to say free soda. It was free something. So, and
some
I
toilet
don't think
water, sink water from the bathroom.
free tears from people questioning their life decisions, wanting to see 22 movies in a row.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a long time. Yeah. And those movies ain't short either. Those movies are like at least 2 hours apiece, right?
Yeah.
So that's at least 44 hours.
That's nuts.
Gamer says, I don't like movie theaters anymore. I used to.
Me neither.
I don't like them anymore because they're fucking expensive as hell. Jesus Christ. I mean, not like anything else is cheap, but you know. I mean, I'm pretty sure Cali's on par with New York as far as you know, how much movies cost, right? How much does it cost to go see a movie in a theater over there?
I have no idea. It's been years, but it's fucking expensive. I know it's like $12 just to get in ahead, and then you've got the popcorn and everything else too to go with it. So
yeah, so I used to go to this theater.
That's in like cheap areas. I'm pretty sure out in like Hollywood, LA and stuff, it's probably like $18 to $22 a head just to get in.
Like Grauman's Chinese Theater, I bet you it's easily $20 to get in there. Right. So you know, I can't remember the last movie I saw in the theater. Rick says last movie I saw in the theater was like Rocky Balboa, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really can't tell you what was the last movie I saw in a theater. I really can't remember.
Like the last one I can remember seeing in the movie theater was probably like one of the Harry Potter movies or the Twilight movies. So
I mean, I wasn't like, you know, living at the movie theater to begin with, even before the pandemic, because it's still pretty freaking expensive then too, you know?
Yeah.
And then they closed all the movie theaters, and I figured that was going to be it. I figured that was going to just kill the movie theater industry, and that was just, everything was just going to be streaming from now on, but it came back, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I really want to know what the last movie I saw. I can't remember.
I know, me neither.
I know, let's see. I'm trying to think. Was it a Marvel movie? Oh no, I think it was the Batman. I think the Batman was the last one we saw. The one with what's his name, Twilight dude.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't bad. It was all right. There are a few purists out there that are like, "No, I don't like it, man. I'd rather have Ben Affleck as Batman." I was like, dude, like 10, 20 years ago, you were saying Ben Affleck sucks, and that you would have laughed at him being the Batman, you know. And now here he is. He's Batman. So they went through what Warner Brothers is going through some tough times over there. So James Gunn, I believe, is running the DCEU, the DC. What's it called? It's their version of the MCU, the DC Cinematic Universe. So Henry Cavill, he was supposed to come back for Man of Steel 2, and I think he was supposed to have a cameo in the Flash movie, and he got cut from both. They said he is not going to be Superman. So Henry Cavill is not going to be Superman anymore. There's not going to be a Wonder Woman 3. There's not going to be, I think there's going to be an Aquaman 2, but there's not going to be an Aquaman 3. I don't know how they're doing the Flash, since that kid that plays the Flash is like in and out of jail. So, yeah, Rick, he's definitely going to reboot Superman again. Stein says, I stopped going to the theaters when seemingly everybody under 16 got a phone and let it ring and talk during the show. Management went act. Of course not. People in the theater, look, people in a theater, people who work in a theater, they are not going to fuck with your potentially violent ass, right? These kids, they're mostly high school, some in college, that are working minimum wage at a movie theater. You think they're going to try and start some shit with you when you may be like packing heat or something like that? They ain't going to do it. Ain't going to do it. Maybe back in the old days, they'd come up to you and go, shh, shut up. But nowadays, they're just like, hey, boss, somebody's talking. Don't talk back to him. Okay. I don't know why I'm talking to you through my hand. Click. Anyway, but yeah, Purple Blue Magadoo. No more Wonder Woman. Yeah, so no Wonder Woman 3. I think she has a cameo or something in the Flash, and they said it was cut too, and then they said it wasn't. It's a bunch of crazy shit going on over there. Not much really going.
Keep hiring actors that aren't like good people.
You mean like good people in real life?
Yeah,
like they're just awful people.
Yeah,
not really heroes, are they? You know, can't really see a lot of them as heroes. I know my buddy Jerry Vacillatos from Chicago Corner. He's a huge Ben Affleck Batman fan. I don't know. I'm just not. I just never liked Ben Affleck.
I'm not a DC fan. I'm a Marvel fan. So.
Yeah, I mean, and even Marvel too. Marvel's really dropped the ball on stuff lately too. They've had a lot of. Have you watched any of their new stuff, like these TV shows or anything? Oh, they're just awful. It's just awful. And they'll tell you that people are slamming on these shows because they're being racist or sexist or misogynist. And I don't know. I'm a movie fan and I'm a TV show fan, and when you're a fan of stuff like the good stuff, that means you appreciate good writing, you appreciate good directing, you know, cinematography, the lighting, everything, you know, the people who put their heart and soul into it, and particularly the writing, you know, because if you could have the best actors in the world and the best director in the world, but if your script is shit, you know, what do they say? A chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and then that's it. You know, the script is the weakest link. So you have to make sure that thing is beefed up and good. Otherwise, everything else falls apart.
Yep.
You know,
I think that's what Marvel is doing, is just milking it for all the money that they can. So they're just writing and accepting all kinds of scripts and everything they can think of to make side stories and side quest stories and stuff. I think that they're just milking the money. I don't really think Marvel even really cares anymore about any new superheroes. I think they're just going to keep regurgitating the same ones over and over again constantly.
I watch this guy, the Scottish guy. He's a movie critic. He's the Critical Drinker. He's out to Scotland. And I really like his takes on movies and stuff like that. He's a bit of a libertarian type, if I were to guess his politics, but you know, I just focus on his on the movie stuff. And he was talking about he called it the MCU because they were like trying to go overboard, just making the women all super powered and OP, and the men were all just idiots and stuff like that. And you can kind of see that too. You can kind of see in some of these shows where, yeah, it's just like, it doesn't seem, even suspending your disbelief for a superhero movie or a TV show, even when you do that, it's still just like, wait a minute, this is a little bit over the top, and I don't like that when male characters, the same thing. It's like when you got like some male character and he can do all this super shit, that just tells you have a weak script that you're trying to fix by getting your lead person or your actor to try to just overcome the bad writing, and it's not that way.
Nope. Nope.
Les Bones says people were saying that about the new Lord of the Rings show too. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I heard that was just awful. And I love Lord of the Rings too. I read The Hobbit. It's weird. It's like, I love the Hobbit book, not a fan of the movie. Loved Lord of the Rings trilogy. Couldn't get into the the book. Like I said, I got about 50 something pages into Lord of the Rings. I still hadn't left the fucking Shire. So, speak of the devil and he shall appear. I knew your ears were burning, Jerry. What? Comic Book Talk just tuned in. You are just in time, Jerry. We were talking about the DC Cinematic Universe, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Wait a minute. Let's see. Where was your question, Kelly? You had a question.
If you could
It was
have
a good
one
one.
superpower, what would it be?
The power to not be sexy all the time. If I could just stop being, if I could control being so goddamn sexy. I mean,
sexy!
I know it's too sexy. If I could just bring it down just a little bit so that mere mortals that were around me wouldn't feel bad. I couldn't
right.
finish that. That was so
All
stupid.
right. That was a good one. That was a good one.
No, it wasn't.
Is that the one you're choosing? Because you have to stick with that if you choose it.
No, that was my Hollywood Squares answer.
Oh, okay.
You see, on Hollywood Squares, they have they'll give you a joke answer and then they'll give you the real answer afterwards. That's why I call it the Hollywood Squares answer. If I superpower,
right, Kelly, seducing anyone he wanted. Yeah.
I already got that power. I think I should be able to get another power. Okay, Kelly. This is a Wendy's. And it'll always be a Wendy's. Oh, look at this. We got an invite from Jerry. We'll talk more on New Year's Eve if you two can join us on the Kerberos panels. Well, she's like Miss Kerberos. So, I mean, she's already there, I would imagine. I'm the outsider looking in. So, but yeah, I should be for New Year's Eve. Actually, let me see.
It's in the afternoon. I think Jerry's panel is like early in the afternoon.
Okay. So, yeah, so because that night, technically, when we go on the air Saturday night, that's going to be here in New York. It's going to be 2023, but where you're at in the rest of the country, it will still be 2022. And I'll be sure to report my findings of the future 1 hour, 3 hours ahead. and I'll report to you that night what's going on here in New York. So,
Well,
we're also invited during
celebrate Central Time's New Year's. We will be able to do that.
And Mountain too, if we go to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're 2 hours behind us. That's Idaho Joe country, isn't he in the Indian Mountain time zone? Is that Idaho or is that Western time zone?
I have no idea.
Jerry, he says, we'll talk more later. Chicago Corner is hosting between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on the 31st. Yes.
There you go.
I'm definitely down for the clown. So just tell me where you need me, Jerry and Jimmy, JJ.
Yeah, I'll hook you up because we got to hook them up in our StreamYard and everything. So definitely we'll hook you up and get you in there.
It'll be a fun day.
You know how it goes.
I know the drill. I know how things go sometimes. Sometimes I pay attention to things.
That's right.
Les Bones, why do you gotta bring Nova Scotia into the mix? All right, Nova Scotia going to be celebrating before us. Why can't the East Coast have their time in the sun? Jesus, you always got to bring Canada into the mix. God damn it.
That's right. That's right. Well, Shake and Bacon's from Canada, so.
Shake and Bacon.
So you never answered. What would be your superpower?
The power to cuddle perfectly.
Come on, superpower.
I don't know. I'll go after you go. What's your superpower? What do you want?
It's easy. I would read minds. I want to read minds. That's mine. I want to read everyone's mind. I want to know when people hate me. I want to know when people like me before I could even have to read them. I'm tired of having to read people without reading their minds. I would love to read minds. That would be my perfect superpower. Absolutely.
Mind reading? Okay. So you'd be more of like a Professor X type person. You'd more be with the mental stuff, like mind reading sort of thing. Gamer's got a good one. He said his would be teleportation. Good.
That would be cool too.
I don't know. There's so many good ones to choose from.
You're like, oh, I'm cold today. It's snowing where I live. I'm going to go to the beach and then just teleport right to the beach. Fuck yeah, that'd be sick.
I was going to say flight, but I am afraid of heights. And if I could just teleport, that'd be even better. But Lesbon says, I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on so Jimmy won't read my mind. Well, she don't have those powers yet. But she'll get them. Time travel. See, that's my boy right there. Jerry knows. I'd probably say time travel too. I think I'd fuck up some history. I would do like Deadpool and go back and kill baby Hitler. And I don't know if he killed baby Hitler or not in that movie. Did he? But he does time traveling in it, and it's hilarious. I think it's at the end of the second one that they do that. Okay.
I haven't seen
maybe, I'm not sure
yet.
But it's funny. I don't think I've spoiled anything. This is like mid-credits scene or something, and it just shows him just like going back in time. He's going back, and he goes to this broom, and it's like a nursery, and he sees this baby in this little bed, and at the end, of course, because it's German, so everything's going to be in English, and it says Hitler, and and he's just like, what should I do?
I would have to go. My second one would be also what Les Bones just put, immortality. I would want to live forever. That would be really cool too.
Yikes. Boy, that would be a curse. I'd be like, But I guess if I was a superhero, I'd probably want to live as long as I could to help people for as long as I could, I guess.
Yeah, but if you were a superhero and your only superpower was immortality, like what kind of superpower, like what would you really be doing to help the people? Your superpower is
that's why well, I mean, but that's why you have to have an additional one. You have to have an additional superpower so you can keep using that power forever.
Okay, so mine would be immortality and reading minds, telepathy and immortality for sure.
Sign says killing Rothschild back then would have been maybe better. Yeah, everybody goes for the I'd kill Hitler. Actually, I wouldn't kill Hitler. I would look at all his paintings that he did. I said, these are just awesome, dude. You should just do this full time. Then he doesn't have to die. Then he doesn't have to be the architect of the Third Reich. You know? Then I don't have to have a death on my conscience. So, you know, win, win, win. See, look, it even makes a W. Win. So, or maybe if I do it like this. No, that looks like
I would be super petty. I would go into the past with a video camera just to videotape the time that people say Jesus was alive, just to prove that he wasn't.
Would you get a selfie with Jesus? Would you like, would you go out to, because Jesus knows everything. So Jesus would know if you were getting a selfie with him, right? And you say, Jesus, can I get a selfie? And he's like, why? Really? Sure. Come on. You know? So like you'll have the picture and it's like the first picture, it'll be a glass of water. And then the second picture, it's the same damn thing, only the water turned to wine.
Yeah, but it actually doesn't happen. And somebody just wrote it down like that. So you got to get the videotape of like the person writing it down that it turned to wine, but it doesn't. Jesus is over his shoulder. Like, make sure you make it into wine, not Kool-Aid.
Jason Rodriguez. Hello, sir. Jesus won't allow you to do that. You don't know what baby J is on his mind. Okay. You never know. JR might be like, look up. Boop, boop, boop. What's that like Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man when he's like taking the selfie with the military dude, and he goes, all right. He said, can I get a picture? He goes, yeah, but no gang signs. And he goes, nah, I'm just kidding. Throw him up. I don't know. It's just one of that part of that movie I just always loved. He goes, no gang signs. Oh, okay. No, I'm just kidding. Throw him up. Have you ever? You've seen Iron Man, haven't you? Have you seen all the Marvel movies?
Not recent ones, no, but some of the like mid 2000s, late 2000s, 2010s, some, but yeah, not all of them.
Kelly said I would time travel back to Paul Pelosi's bedroom the night that he had his male friend there.
Right.
Gross. Look, Kelly, I understand why you said that, and it's in theory that's a good idea, but chances are Paul Pelosi was probably naked, and
Velvet.
You'd have to see.
I would do what Velvet says, like when Mary immaculately conceived Jesus Christ, like actually see what happens, like who did she really bang? Like she wasn't a virgin for sure. I would do that. I saw this meme. And it was just like one of these old painting things, like a scene with Mary and Jesus and Joseph over there. And somebody put on there, they put a talk bubble out of Jesus's mouth. It says, Mom, where do babies come from? And in the back, you see Joseph looking back going, yeah, Mary, where do babies come from? That's right.
Let's hear it. Let's hear this. Mm-hmm. So, the world's first cuck was Joseph.
That's right.
I got pregnant by an angel in the garden. Joseph's like, look, I'm drunk, but I'm not like stupid drunk. How the hell am I supposed to buy this? An angel?
That's so hot. Blasphemy is my kink. That's so hot.
Don't worry, Velvet. If there's no Wonder Woman 3, we'll make sure that you are going to be the Wonder Woman in Wonder Woman 3. Right. All babies come from God. Change my mind. Babies come from semen.
I thought the stork brought babies. What happened to the stork? Are we just forgetting about him now?
The stork, what happens is the stork comes to your house, right? Bangs your mom while your dad's at work, leaves, and then 9 months later, your mom's pregnant. That's how it works. He ain't bringing no babies. He's bringing baby batter, but he ain't bringing no babies up in this mug. There's a stork movie. What?
Oh, no.
There's no stork movie. It's animated.
Oh yeah,
The only
probably from like the 70s or something for sure. They would have done something like that.
the only stork I remember was on Bugs Bunny, and the stork was always drunk as fuck, and so every time he did deliver the baby to the wrong place, and then chaos ensued because it would be like a gorilla family, and they're bringing baby Bugs Bunny. You know, is he a grown woman this week? Is he a baby bunny? You know, talk about identity in crisis. That's what that's what that was about. But the stork was always drunk and always dropped off the baby at the wrong spot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you've seen people with kids, you're like, why do those people have kids? All right, what happened? Probably the drunk stork said, I'm gonna come to your house. You shut up. I'm coming to your house with this kid. Where's the fucking kid? Oh, there you are. I'm gonna bring this fucking kid. And then he ends up, you know, halfway on the other side of the world. It's like if Santa was drunk and just went to all the naughty houses and gave them gifts. You know, that thing.
Which is what they do. And if Santa was real, it'd be true anyway. Because bad kids don't get coal; they get presents.
Exactly, because it's 2022.
That's right.
Gamer, I have been drunk on occasion, and you know, so I have a tendency to know how to do a good drunk impression. Although when I'm drunk, I'm just a little bit louder and a little bit slower, and I laugh a little bit more. But that's it. I don't really like drinking anymore. Gamer, I saw it. It's called Violent Night, and it has David Harbour, Sheriff, what's his name from Stranger Things, Sheriff Hopper, and we saw it at Comic-Con. It was amazing. It's so violent, it's so good, and I think it just came out like the beginning of the month. Dork was drunk because he was non-union and didn't give a fuck. That's right. You see, you're not gonna pay me overtime? I'm gonna take this baby to the wrong house.
That's right. That's right. I like what Lesbone said something earlier. Oh, God came down and fucked Mary like Zeus would do. At least the Greeks were more direct in their storytelling. And then there goes my light again. Jesus Christ.
I think when they say the garden, I think we talked about this before. I tell you my theory that Jesus was an alien hybrid, right? Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
That when they go in the garden and she's pregnant, but all her goodies downstairs are still intact. That just sounds like in vitro to me, right? What do you think?
Yeah. The Garden of Eden actually being like the vagina.
I don't know. Well, I didn't go there, but you know.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Wait, the Garden of Eden
like
is
the
supposed to be a
symbolization instead of actually like, because you know in Christianity they call the Garden of Eden an actual place, but actually it was the symbolism of how it got started, the in vitro of the single female or into multiple humans. Yeah, absolutely.
I think I knew he was talking about Graham Hancock a couple of weeks ago and his show that he's got.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like typical ancient aliens fare, even though he doesn't say they're aliens. He thinks that there were advanced civilizations here that were like indigenous to the planet. And I gotta say, that sounds pretty good to me. That we can't be like the first, modern society with like technology and stuff like that over billions of years. That's a little bit of a stretch. Little on YouTube says, "Ha, the Great Snatch." I knew somebody.
They do call it Mother Earth. So
when I was in junior high, I used to lay on the ground face down and start humping, and people would say, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting down on Mother Earth." You are a fucking weirdo. Thank you for paying attention.
My nephew used to do that to go to sleep.
Right? What do you think ancient recountings of angels in the sky were? Yeah, I mean, all these societies and cultures around the world, we're talking about, you know, sky gods, people from the sky. They were all talking about floods and shit like that. You know, how could they know that? There was no internet back then. How did they know? But they all knew around the same time too. They were finding Egyptian hieroglyphics all over the world too, like way back. It's crazy what our past is that we just have no idea, you know?
Yeah, like what Rick says. I mean, even in the Bible in Genesis, it says that there's Nephilim that come, and they're, you know, they're giant people because angels came down and had sex with the women on earth and created Nephilim. So even the Bible says it. So they just call them angels.
Genesis and Revelation are the two weirdest books in the Bible. Lesbone says, when I was into reading the Bible, the story in Genesis about giants roaming the earth and having offspring with the women of earth always fascinated me. It is. It reads like it reads like a sci-fi movie. It really does. Jerry says logic would dictate extraterrestrial visit and people trying to make sense of it without the knowledge of the galaxy around us. Right. Exactly. People are, I mean, a lot of these scientists are saying like, well, there can't be aliens because how would they get, even if they came from like Alpha Centauri, which is our closest, you know, nerd. Even if they came from Alpha Centauri, which is 2 light years away, or is it 6? I can't remember. It's a single digit, but it would take us a long fucking time to get there. Not at light speed, but I think there were civilizations in the past that were wiped out. I'd say more than one civilization in the past. Because I mean, who knows what else they're lying to us about our past. The government and all these officials have lied to us consistently for the last few years. So I mean, it wouldn't be a stretch to say that you know, they'd be lying about our history too. You know, I was talking to my oldest sister, and she's one of these people she's an evangelical, always fearing for my soul. And we get into these conversations about religion, and it's very, I'm not trying to get on all Christians. Not all Christians are like this. But a few of the people that I've spoken to said, you tell them, okay, so I should take the Bible literally. Well, not all of it. Some of it is like allegories and, you know, just stories and parables and stuff like that. It's, oh, okay, so I should take them figuratively. No, some of the shit you need to take literally. Like, what? What? And then it's like Father, Son, Holy Ghost. It's like, oh, they're all the same. But then how can you be the father of somebody if you're the same? I don't know. It just, and then they'll just say, and instead of trying to explain anything to you, they'll just say, you know what? I don't have proof, but I have faith, and that's all I need. Because I always tell my sisters, like, look, whatever makes you feel good, you know, as long as A, it's good for you, and B, you know, you're not hurting anybody else. You could worship tree trunks. You could worship, you know, butt plugs. I don't give a fuck. You know, you do whatever you want, but as long as it's not harming somebody else, you know?
Yep. But then Christians and Catholics and uber religious are the first ones to absolutely murder and brutalize people for not believing what they believe while calling themselves martyrs.
Exactly. And Willie just sums it up. Says, just don't push it on others. And that goes for religion. That goes for politics. It goes for anything. Don't push anything on anybody. Even if you think it'll help them. If someone is like super resistant to what you're saying, maybe read the room. You know, maybe they're just not into religion. I grew up Southern Baptist. I went to the church till I was probably close to 18 years old. And, but then I stopped going to church and, just wasn't a fan of it, What's up, Ed? Good to see you. I don't know. I mean, there's some stuff like some of the teachings of Jesus in the New Testament. I mean, I could probably get down with that. Some of those are just like, share with people, be good to people. It's all just socialist tropes is basically. And the people that like these conservatives, Jesus was not a socialist. Jesus was a fucking socialist. I'm sorry. I hate to be that guy, but Jesus was a socialist. So
if he was real, yes.
If he was real, if he was not like some amalgamation like others in the past have been, was it? I think they compared him to Horus, the Egyptian god Horus. There's a few others, but some of them like said born under a star, just like Jesus was like it had very similar paths.
Born of a virgin, was
born of a virgin,
put up on a cross or died and then rose 3 days later. All of those
crucified, disappeared afterwards. That stuff. Jerry says
that's why it makes me believe that Jesus isn't real, because we live like literally in 2022. We have Christmas and Easter and stuff, which is a bunch of religious holidays stolen from other religions and other things. So why wouldn't Jesus be a stolen story of Egyptian tales?
Well, I mean, think about it. If you could use a story to control people, and let's be real. Religion is used to control people for good or for bad. It is to control people because there's all these fucking rules and shit like that. You got to do this. You can't do this. You got to do this. You can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Willie says an obnoxious Bible thumper told a lie on me in college and told my RA that I was suicidal because I told him to leave me alone when he attempted to proselytize me. I was forced into counseling. See I had to tell my sister, look, I believe what I believe. I'm 53 years old. I'm pretty much not going to change my mind about religion. So you think that, 1 billion people who are Christians are going to go to heaven and the other 6.5 billion people are not. And I find that ridiculous. First off, what is heaven? What is hell? I asked her, I said, it wasn't like a bad conversation. We were just, I was just keeping it real with her. I said, look, I'm one of these people that needs proof. And I don't see proof in the Bible. She said, well, it's written. It's like, well, yeah, it was written by dudes. All dudes. I think. But all dudes. And then they have this council in Nicaea where like a century or so later after his death or after his disappearance, where they're saying, okay, we're going to put these books into the Bible. I'm pretty sure they didn't say the Bible, so I'm paraphrasing pretty bad, but how much control did religion have over people back in those days? Like, first century, second century, AD, or, common era, whatever you want to call it, particularly after the Black Plague came along later and wiped out like a third the planet. I think was it the bubonic plague? Is that the same thing as the Black Plague?
Yeah. No.
Wiped out a third. But and then even then there wasn't that many people on the planet. There's maybe like, several million instead of like, 7.5 billion like we have now. But yeah, that's my take on a religion. It's a very personal thing. If it helps you, like I said, if it helps you and you're not hurting anybody else, rock on. I told my sister, I said, look, if I was going to worship something, I'd worship two things. I'd worship the sun and I'd worship water, because you need the sun and you need water to live, but both of those things can also kill you. So you have to have a healthy respect, and you know, and then I can prove it. I can prove that, because I could stay out in the sun too long and get, like, you know, 3rd-degree burns on my body, or you know, I could go in the ocean and drown or something like that, you know. But, you know, Sky Daddy, dude with a beard sitting on a gold throne or whatever, it's just stories. It just seems like it's just stories to control people. Be good, do as we tell you to do, and then you'll get your reward in heaven. If you don't, you go down to the hot place, the HE double hockey sticks. Tell me that's not controlling people. Trying to scare the shit out of people.
Because you're literally suffering your whole life to be a good person in hopes that there is this great place after you die. How is that a good life? Like, you're literally living your life for the afterlife. It's not the way to live.
Yeah. The secret Wiccan. I don't practice that evil stuff. I say evil. None of it's like, if I was a Wiccan,
you damn heretic. Right?
I'd be trying to, like, grow flowers out of concrete or something like that. You know, you do have, like, witchy things about you for sure. Really? Mm-hmm. Is it because I look like Santa Claus?
No, just the things you talk about could be just in line with what Wiccans believe as well.
Really? Yeah. What do Wiccans believe? Fill me in on this.
They're like tree huggers. They're like hippie tree huggers. That's what we are. We worship Mother Earth. That is so like how Christians have God and Catholics have Mary, and, you know, other religions have their God. Wicca has Mother Earth, Gaia. That's their main god. But she's not by herself either. So you can't have male without female. You can't have female without male. So Mother God Gaia is the main character, but she also has her consort with her at all times, which is the green man. So if you ever look in trees and bushes and stuff and you ever see like a face out of the leaves, that's supposed to be the green man. That is her consort. So they're just believing, you know, they're big tree huggers. They believe in saving the environment, that everything on Earth is a living being and has a life. That's why I love the word sonder, because it means that everything has a life beyond what you can imagine they could. And I see that even with trees and animals and water and all the way things down to like the microbiology of things. Everything is a living, breathing being. And that's what, you know, we tend, Wiccans, at least when it comes to like the spell casting and the power part of it, it's you go out into nature and you kind of pull the energy from nature itself to bring to you, to bring out. So it's just, you know, big tree hugger kind of thing. Yeah.
It kind of sounds like druids. Like, aren't the druids, don't they worship trees? They're kind of like a Gaia type thing.
So there's like this umbrella term, Wicca or pagan, and then you've got all these things underneath that as well that go along with it. I think even Wicca itself is one of the umbrella terms. I think it's paganism that is the umbrella term, and then everything underneath it: Druid, Viking, Nordic, Wiccan, Green Witch, everything. All of them are all those terms underneath. You just kind of figure out which one you suit well. I mean, there's even Egyptian witches, which are like people who use deities from the Egyptian time. So like, you know, or like Greek times too. So Aphrodite or things like that. Like you can have your own deity that you call out to instead of just Mother Earth or Gaia. You can choose from all of these different cultural higher deity beings, and you can, you know, pray to it or use it in your rituals to give you what you want. Like, let's say you want to bring a love spell, you would bring in Aphrodite, you know, things like that. Or you want a family, you would bring in Brigitte, things like that. So you would just bring in the god or goddess from those different ones that you kind of mesh well with. You can choose it from all different kinds.
I don't know. I guess I guess my time in the Baptist church really kind of put me off to religion, because I was going to this church. Okay, so, and this is probably like at a lot of churches around the country. Like when you're at a church or something and you want to become a member of that church, you put in your letter to be a member of that church, right? They say put it. Yeah, you have your letter. I don't really know what that means. I didn't write any letters. I don't remember my family writing letters, but I guess it's just some like sort of unspoken promise that you belong to this church, because I got baptized at this church. But I didn't like that church. I went to this other church that some of my school friends were going to, and I really liked it. It was really good, very positive, singing and stuff like that. And my old man said, no, I don't want you going to that church. You're going to go to our family church, and that's it. And I said, well, I'm just not going to go to church then. If I can't go to the one I want to go to, just not going to go. And I did. I just stopped going. And that was it. That was the end of my foray into religion as a youth. So I just didn't like all the hypocrisy and stuff like that too. There was always these same people. I think we talked about this before. Like, so at the end of the service, right? So the preacher do the sermon or whatever. And then at the end, they have like the final song, and he'd ask people to come up to the pulpit, and he would pray with them. And it was always the same people. It was the same people that got trashed the night before, just got really fucked up. They're probably praying with him for their hangovers to go away. Right. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, look, you're going to do all this crazy shit, and then you're going to be like, oh, holy with the Jesus. I'm like, I just don't want anything to do with that. So if it's good for you, rock on. Not good for me. Not a big fan. So, I like to think of alternative, theories as to what really happened back then too. I like to think that Jesus existed, like he was a real dude. But that he was misinterpreted, or he could have been made up out of whole cloth. It is possible, right? He could have been like an amalgamation of other people in history, and used as a tool to control people, to create a religion. We don't know.
If he was a real person, okay, and we were going by whatever that country area was, the laws of the land were back then, Jesus was a fucking criminal. Like, if he was real, he was a criminal. That law of that land at that time was Jew. They were Jewish. Him changing it to Christianity and trying to change the entire country, which was ran by the Jewish religion, he was criminally trying to change that country, upending its government, everything that entire country believed. So if Jesus was a real person, technically in history books, he should be known as a criminal trying to change what was going on in that country. So at least that's what I believe.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. It's like I said, we don't even have like any sort of like, there's no bones, there's no grave. We don't know. And that's all part of the lore too. So, I mean, if you're going to scam people, and I'm not saying it is a scam, but I'm just saying if you're going to scam people, the easiest thing you could do is just say that Jesus did all this stuff. Okay, where's the body? Oh, he was lifted up into heaven. Really? The body too? Oh yeah, everything gone. So don't have a corpse to really test to see if it was Jesus or not. So you kind of have to take our word for it. Have faith. Yeah, they say that a lot. When shit don't make sense, just have faith, and somehow that makes it okay. So, and I'm like, I need some proof. I don't really have faith, but I would love some proof, please. Proof, please. And that's what I get. Empty hands, because there's no proof. There's no proof for any of that stuff.
Exactly.
It's fascinating. Ed says, I'm telling you, JC was a time traveler. Well, where'd he go? If he left, if he left that time zone, where did he go to?
He
didn't
probably
come
went
to
to the future, and then his battery broke, and he got stuck there.
His battery. He's the son of God. He doesn't have a battery. Or does that mean, yeah, I guess he would have a battery. I don't know. Rick says flipping over money tables and whipping the money exchangers out of the temple. Based. Yeah, that was probably illegal too.
The comment section is like saying that Jesus is like a revolutionary and a badass. Ugh. Gross. And I know that there wasn't countries back then. You know what I fucking mean, Ed? Jesus Christ. You gotta laugh at me too, bro. I get it. I'm dyeing my hair blonde. I'm just gonna go back to being a blonde so that way people just can expect it from me.
Aw. You poor thing. Look, you don't have to be blonde all the time. You just have blonde moments. I have blonde moments too. You know. Because I'm technically.
But see, you don't get laughed at for it. I do. Might as well just go blonde so that way people will be like, oh, okay, I don't need to laugh at it because I expect it.
I get laughed at in my face. And people spit too. I don't know why they do that. It's horrible. People. I need to get better friends. You know what I mean? It's fucking trolls that I. Yeah. No. Except, present company excluded, of course. I have too many trolls in my life. Exactly.
That's a new one.
That's my Troll Hunter. If you've not seen that movie, Troll Hunter, there's a movie out now. It's called Trolls. And I believe it's Scandinavian too. I haven't seen that yet. But there's a movie called Troll Hunter. I think it's from 2010. It's really good. It was one of those, I found it by accident type things. I was like, all right, I'll try it out. And it was great. It was like, it's a found footage movie. So if you're not into those, you probably won't like it, but, I loved it. I mean, you got to read, unless you know Scandinavian or whatever, you got to read subtitles, but I don't mind doing that.
See, I'm with you, Kelly, and Trance or Velvet. If I could choose to believe in one afterlife, like, where you die and go somewhere, it would be Valhalla for sure. I would love to be a Valkyrie, like any fucking day. Send me to fucking Valhalla, please. I would love that. That would be awesome.
I don't know. I'd just like to find a really cool 80s video arcade in the afterlife, and I'd just play video games.
I want reincarnation. I want to be reincarnated so bad.
What would you, if you were reincarnated, who would you like to come back as? Not like a particular, like, I mean, but I'm just saying, like, what kind of person would you like to come back as? Would you like to be a rich person, a holy leader? Do you want to be what do you want to, what would you like to be in your next life?
I never thought about that. I never thought about who I would want to be if I came back. I would just want to come back reincarnated and remember my past lives. That would be my dream, is to be able, like, if that was real, I would want it to be to where I could remember all the other past lives. So that way I knew what I was learning, like why I was coming here, what I was coming here to learn, where was I in that process of the learning thing. So that would be my
Science makes a good point here, though. This says, you want to go Valhalla, you have to die in battle.
Yes, for men, yeah.
Women too, I think. You gotta whack somebody. Yeah. You gotta be getting your kill on before you get to go up to the big V. Say howdy to the kids.
We've played Grounded together. I can whoop some ass. I'm down. I'm down for protecting my men.
Well, as long as you have like a controller or a keyboard to defend us, I think I'll feel safe.
True, because if we were in real life, there's no way I would ever protect you, because I'm like 5'0" and you're like 6'8".
I would pick you up, put you on my back, and we would both run the fuck out of there.
I thought you were gonna put me on your shoulders and we would both fight it out together.
You mean like chicken fight? Like have you sit on my shoulders and then you're like,
Better have a good back.
That would be crazy. It probably wouldn't work. I mean, even as light as you are, I got this lower like lumbago thing going on in my back, sciatica.
See.
That's why I just pick you up and run. Vertical, I can. Horizontal, I can do. Do. But if it's horizontal the whole time, I'm gonna be like, oh, my back, and you're sitting there like wank, 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 ding, ding, ding. Just hold out for 5 more minutes. God damn it, ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, oh, I need my pills.
Right.
Go fight a Gorn. Jimmy doesn't get that reference. No, she doesn't, because she's.
Is that a Trek thing?
Yes, the Gorn are baddies in the Star Trek realm. That's right, Ed. That's the Kroika. And then T'Pol at the end goes boom, Kroika. So basically, what that is Kirk and Spock are on Vulcan, and Spock is doing like one of his every 7 years he gets horny, and then he's got to fight somebody. I don't know. These fucking Vulcans are so weird. So they're on Vulcan, and him and Kirk are fighting because I don't know, some shit. But then they have that music. Dun, 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 dun. You saw the Cable Guy, right? Did you see that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when they're he says we must fight or they will kill us both. And he's like, I think that when they're at the what is that, the medieval times, right? And they get to go out on the thing and fight it out.
Mm-hmm.
That was a crazy movie.
It's been a while
but yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah, but if you were a Trekkie, you'd get the Kroika reference, but since you're not. What was it? Okay, so in that movie, what's her name? Oh shit, comedian. Can't remember her name. Stand-up comedian. So she's like the waitress at medieval times, and she says, he said, yeah, can I get a yeah, he said, can I get a fork? And she goes, there were no forks in medieval times, so there are no forks at medieval times. And he goes, well, you don't have forks, but you have Pepsi?
Oh.
And then she's like, oh, Janine Garofalo, that's what it was. And she goes, dude, I got tables. And then she just walks off.
Oh.
He makes a good point. Like, they didn't have forks in medieval times, but they had fucking Pepsi. That's right, Steve.
Right.
I knew that would wake you up. Every 7 years, Spock gets horny, and all hell breaks loose on Star Trek.
That's awesome. That sounds like my dream man.
Was it? I want to say. Oh, it's Pon Farr. So every 7 years, Vulcans, they go through what's called Pon Farr, and it's basically like it's just like women who are ovulating, only it's like ovulation for a dude, only, and the ovulation is on crack. He's just like, yeah, because like his emotions get out of control, you know, just like humans. We get all horny and our emotions just go woo, and we do some stupid shit. Thinking with the wrong head. But it was called Pon Farr. I always wanted to call it parkour, but that's that jumping on walls shit, right? You just go doop, 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 like that Jackie Chan stuff. So yeah, I don't know where we was going with that, but
that's hot. That's hot. He only gets horny every 7 years. I like that. I'm down.
Well, yeah, and the rest of the time he's just logical and unemotional, and just like,
perfect.
You know, every 7 years, I gotta get my freak on. Or I don't know what happens if they, I don't know if they think they have to have sex or something. And if they don't, they have to do like a whole bunch of meditating or something. Like, dude. Hello.
Hello.
Maybe that's him. Maybe that's him calling right now.
I wish.
But Futurama did a version with Zoidberg.
That's all.
Futurama is genius. Yes, it is. When they go to on Futurama, when they go to the planet, and it's just nothing but fight. All they do is fight on that planet. And they said that they're in some arena, and the leader says, "And now we shall hear the national anthem," and it's the music from Star Trek. That anyway, I liked Futurama. Did you like Futurama?
Mm-hmm.
I did too.
Definitely. I'm probably going to have to watch it again. Is it on Hulu? Because if it's on Hulu, I can definitely watch it again.
I would think so. I mean, it's somewhere out there. Easily.
I got to get a new cartoon. I just finished Bob's Burgers, and I need a new one.
How was Bob's Burgers?
It's good. It's very cute. I love the little daughter with the pink bunny ears. She's my favorite. She's the best.
Right.
She's the hellion of the group. She's so great.
You make Snoo Snoo now. Death by Snoo Snoo.
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Futurama's Origin of God episode. I don't remember that one. I remember where they did a time travel one where they kept going back in time so far that it would just flip over and time was on like a giant loop. So they go all the way back to, before the Big Bang, and then like everything started over again. It was pretty cool. But I've heard good things about Bob's Burgers. I've seen a couple episodes. It wasn't bad. It just seemed very sweet. I'm a very cynical person. So, yeah. I don't believe the sweetness.
But, I just found out a fucking shitlib plays one of the characters in Bob's Burgers, but it's a character that nobody likes and he gets made fun of a lot in the show. But one of those shitlibs that do like the live shows in the morning, who's the one that always gets into arguments with other live streamers, but he like never can like fight back and always laughs and says, "I don't care."
Wait, what morning show? You're talking about?
He does a morning news show on YouTube or something. He does it with that blonde girl that used to be on TYT. Sam Cedar.
Oh, Cedar.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, Sam Cedar plays the voice of one of the characters in Bob's Burgers.
Oh, that's right.
But it's a character that nobody likes. He gets made fun of and shit in the whole thing. So it's funny to watch.
Yeah, Sam Cedar. He lives he doesn't live too far away from me.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of these Park Slope dudes. So Park Slope is like a very richy area in New York. Very gentrified. Extremely gentrified. Of course. A lot of your high dollar families live there. So some celebrities live there too. Although most people would live in Brooklyn Heights if they live here and they were rich, because that's where like all the richies live. Sam Cedar was in Sex and the City. No, he wasn't. Stop it. SFT, wow. Good to see you. They're spreading. Yeah, he was not. I don't want to hear sex and Sam Cedar in the same sentence ever again. That's gross. Whatever I ate for supper, we're gonna see it. So, sorry. He was in Sex and the Sam Cedar. Who did he play? All right, this is bullshit. I am calling bullshit on this right now. I think
he plays
these are
the
lies.
health inspector in Bob's Burgers.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, that's why he's not liked, is because he's the health inspector and health inspects Bob's Burgers, but he also is the ex-boyfriend of Linda, who is Bob's wife. So when Bob first met Linda, and before the show ever started, in their life, in their universe, she was dating the health inspector and left him to start dating Bob, and then they got married and had kids. And so now the health inspector has it out for Bob and wants to try to close him at all times. He's just a jerk in the show. Nobody likes him.
Holy shit. So
on today.
Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna play it. It's like 5 minutes long. But it says Sam Cedar. Yeah, this is the Majority Report Reddit page says that he was on Sex and the City back in the day. And there's some sort of 5-minute clip, and I don't want to I don't know. It just seems like these are way too long, and I don't want to give that fucker any air. But
yeah, no, I'll go look at it in my own time to see if he was. I've never even seen Sex and the City anyway. Sex and the City is a bunch of rich bitches, so.
yeah, I've never seen. I never had the inkling to watch that show either. Rich people in New York.
Willie says Sam Cedar and Nomiki Konst deserve each other. Are they dating?
Yeah, they have the same energy.
They look like they could be twins.
Nomiki is a con artist. In case you didn't know.
Sure.
She's a super con artist. So this is how she does it. So every once in a while, Nomiki will find some sort of rando office to run for, right? Yep. She'll run for the office. She'll do all the campaigning stuff, and of course, get those donations. Yep. And then usually some of those donations go missing, and then she drops out of the race.
Crystal Ball has been known to do that too, so.
Right. I mean, and if you're running for office just to make money, there's like a special place in hell for you to do, when you die.
Mm-hmm. There's people that go run for office to make money, and then there's people who go homeless just to try to change the world. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah, there's enough con men and con women and con people on this planet already. All right. We don't need any more. I don't want anything to do with people like that. So, we need critical thinking. Hello, good to see you. They say Futurama is coming back with 20 new episodes headed to Hulu. Most of the original cast will return. Yeah, no, what else are they doing? Phil Lamar, I know he's not doing anything. Billy West, he's not doing anything. Katie Siegel? Is it Siegel or Seagal? How do you say it?
Married with Children. Katie Seagal from Married with Children. I love her.
Yeah. They get everybody, and what's his name? The guy, John. Oh, that's H. John Benjamin.
Wait, Ed said they screwed over Bender. What happened to Bender? Bender made it, right? Because the last thing I remember is that all they did was her and Fry and Hearst wanted to start over again from the beginning, and Fry went in time traveled back to the beginning, and then that was the last episode ever.
Who's the guy that does the voice for
Bender?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I've actually seen that guy at Comic-Con before.
They're rebooting King of the Hill too.
Of course.
I used to have to watch that. My mom let me. She was like, "That's the only grown-up cartoon you're allowed to watch." And it's all super Christian and shit. Little did she know, like, the next door neighbor's wife was banging the Indian and shit.
I know, right? So
DiMaggio does Bender.
John DiMaggio, yeah, a super nice guy too. Very nice person. Yeah. So if they're getting the whole Hee Haw gang back together, I think And if they have like some of the same writers or something, I mean, I'd be down for that.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it would be cool. I mean, I didn't want it to go away in the first. The only thing I worry about is with them bringing it back and it just ends up being just really shitty. You know, because you hate to see that.
Well,
you hate to see that.
If they try and they fail, maybe they can be like the Rick and Morty guys and make a gaming company. That would be really smart of them.
They rebooted the Powerpuff Girls, but without Tara Strong. Well, then why do it? Tara Strong is like their main voice on there. Willie says he likes King of the Hill when he was Mr. Anderson in Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. Them boys were whacking off in my tool shed. Damn it,
Very
Bobby.
true.
Yeah, Mr. Anderson and Hank Hill are the same person.
Yeah.
One has more hair. If you shaved Hank Hill's head, you'd have Mr. Anderson to save money on people. John DiMaggio is married to Kate Miller, Debbie from C-Lab 2021. Oh, really? I figured like a lot of those voiceover people kind of run in the same circles, you know, because when I would see them at Comic-Con, they used to have like voiceover panels and stuff like that. They get these voiceover, a whole bunch of them. They have like a panel for about an hour and they'd read these scripts. They'd read like movie scripts and stuff, but they would read them in character voices like Donald Duck or, you know, whatever cartoon characters that these character actors could do really well. And hearing them do like, you know, Schindler's List, you know, doing it in Bender's voice, you know, or, you know, I could have given him this ring. I could have given him this what? I don't do a good Bender impression, but you get the gist. So
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. John was also the voice Jake the dog from Adventure Time. Did you ever watch Adventure Time?
It's more my kids' stuff.
It is, but it's also good stoner stuff too. Really good stoner stuff. Highly recommend. That's a fun show. I thought it was just a little weird at first, but then I started watching it and I was like, okay, this is a good weird. Okay, that's fine. The Bacon Pancakes, Alicia Keys, New York mashup. That sounds awesome. What used to annoy me was when I would hear a good song on Beavis and Butthead, and they usually made fun of the stuff I liked.
That's the point.
Oh man, who was okay, so Beavis and Butthead wore like Metallica and AC/DC shirts, and then who's the kid that wore the Winger shirt? Oh god, what was his name? Who was that guy? What's the kid's name? It wasn't Stewart. They didn't call him Stewart. Oh, was it Stewart? Yeah.
From Saturday Night or from Mad TV?
It's from no, not that Stewart. Like Stewart.
Yeah. I don't wanna. Let me do it.
Now, Stewart, I told you to come over here, but I don't wanna.
Stuart, what did Mama say? I don't want to say it. What did Mama say, Stuart? Frozen chocolate tastes like poo.
Michael McDonald.
He's the best.
Not the Doobie Brothers guy, but the Mad TV guy. Yeah, that was one of my favorite characters on Mad TV was Stuart and his mom. Now, Stuart, you know, because she was just a dingbat anyway, and he was like, I don't wanna.
I love when he would run into the room and he's like, look what I can do, and then he just starts jiggling everywhere.
Yeah, he'd be like wearing tidy whities or something. He's like this 6 foot something dude. He's just, he was dancing around and shit like that.
Look what I can do. It's the best.
Look what I can do. See, it all comes back to this. Just pretend like they're from here down. There's a white ladder, and then there's like laser beams and shit behind you, and that's what an '80s high school photo looks like. Oh, you like my Stewart? I've been working on the Stewart one for a while. That's been years. A pro tip to folks: if you want to become like some sort of voice actor and you want to be able to do impressions and stuff like that, start doing them now. And especially if you're young, just start doing them now. Do them in front of your family, your friends. They're gonna think you're weird. It won't matter as long as you get it good. And then when you come for that payoff, and you're in a party or something, and somebody mentions some character, you're like, I can do that voice. And then you throw out some lines, some crappy, crazy thing that they probably wouldn't say, but it sounds like they would say it.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
Delicious.
Those days are long gone for me. I think nobody gets my references. I make like all these 70s references, and people are like, do the dog turning their head like, oh, me not know who that is. Right? Mm-hmm. So I was watching Match Game, right? So this show is like almost 50 years old. Match Game appeared in 1973, starring the host was Gene Rayburn, and I've been watching it. They're on YouTube now. You can watch. I think you can watch every episode of Match Game that ever existed, and it's all on YouTube. And it's just like, I can't believe that was 50 years ago, because I remember that as a kid, like a little kid growing up, watching, it's 70s game shows where people were drinking and smoking and people were kissing each other and just like making like lewd comments to one another. Every one of them motherfuckers would be canceled today. Every single one of them. But now they're all like in their 80s and they don't give a shit. They're just like, I got money. You cancel me all you want. I don't give a shit. I'm not doing anything. But I used to watch game shows a lot when I was a little kid before I started going to school, because I didn't have like preschool or even kindergarten. I had no school up until I was 6 years old, and then I went to school. So between 0 and 6, I either watched game shows with my mom or I watched soap operas with my mom. But she stayed at home and took care of me. My dad was at work and my sisters were at school. God damn, Miguel ain't that old. Watch Leave It to Beaver. You mean like in real time or like in syndication? Because you really got to be specific. I know, right? 70s game shows is public sexual assault. That's exactly what it was.
Exactly.
And it's Hollywood too. So
about that earlier, how like the game show hosts would randomly kiss contestants and shit.
Yeah, that was a big deal on Family Feud. Richard Dawson, the host, and he that was his thing. He would go on there and he'd kiss them right on, not on the cheek, on the lips. Mm-hmm. Like, the money kiss. Mm-hmm. It's not a peck. It was just like, I'm amazed they didn't just start like making out. Like, hell with the game show. Here's the game show right here. But of course, that was too sexy. It was too sexy. So you can't have that kind of stuff now. You could never do any of the stuff on the yeah, he mauled him. It's like, dude, go to Vegas. Go get you a hooker or something. Come on. Go get somebody. Don't maul the contestants. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Richard would kiss every woman on the lips right in front of her husband next to her. And the dude would smile. Because he was on TV. He was a cuck. You like let Richard Dawson make out with his wife on national television. Jesus Christ. Gamer, I don't blame you. It's good though to go back to those old ones to see like what a different era that was back then. Like I said, the 70s, 1972 was 50 years ago. 50, half a century ago. And it's just kind of crazy the way time flows and what happens. you know, to cultures and societies in that time too. It's crazy. You know, yes, exactly. At least he didn't hair sniff kids. Yes, that's probably a good thing. But yeah, it was just so, you know, Hollywood back then was just like, you know, Lech City. It's just like the poor women back in those days. I mean, you had a few female power players in Hollywood, very few, you know, that you couldn't pull shit like that on. But you know, these young actresses come in. I mean, it's just like it is today. It was probably a lot worse then because they could get away with it more back then. But you know, they these poor women, you know, they'd come in for casting calls and stuff like that and have to endure all these fucking, you know, disgusting men pawing all over them and drooling all over them and shit like that. You know, it's like, I've always, I mean, I grew up around women, basically. I have 2 older sisters and my mom, and I'm very respectful of women as far as like, I mean, I'm no saint or anything. I've made mistakes and stuff with women in the past, but I've always tried to be respectful and I've always tried to treat them well and treat them the way they want to be treated. Right. And, you know, but and it just breaks my heart to think about just like innocent people trying to, you know, make a break, you know, want to be a star, you know, they want to get out of their little podunk small towns. They want to do something that's like bigger than life, you know, and then they have to go through all this bullshit, like with producers and casting directors and stuff like that. And it's just, you know, I'm a dude, and I said I gave up on Hollywood. I said I am not going to try and fulfill my dream to be an actor or a comedian in Hollywood. I learned that fairly quickly, and I'm glad I did because,
me too.
You know, it's. I mean, yeah, you pursued that too, right? But I mean, would you really want to be an actress or an actor? In this day and age,
no.
You
Looking
know?
back on and no, there's no way. I mean, the money would be great, but that would be it. You know, if you could get the next gig after the next gig, you weren't blacklisted.
Yeah. Right. And I'm pretty sure there was a new round of blacklisting of people who didn't get, you know, the jibby jab and stuff like that, or people who were. I mean, Republicans have been getting, you know, locked out of Hollywood for decades. You know, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Republicans, but they have gotten the short end of the stick from a very, very liberal Hollywood, you know? But that's the thing. It's like, love them or hate them, liberals make better shit. They make funnier stuff. They make more entertaining stuff. You try like any kind of like Republican type fare, you know, it's very conservative. Only conservatives like it. Nobody else likes it. And even I wouldn't even say all conservatives like it either. I'm pretty sure they'd be like, this is kind of like Christian rock to me. You know, it's just like, you know, it's an attempt at music, but no, you're not even this close. You're like, it's close, you know, kind of thing. So
what's funny is that the conservatives will say the same thing about us. They'll say that we're not funny. It's really funny.
Right. And we're hysterical.
We're fucking funny.
We really are. That's not bragging. It's not bragging if it's true. I mean, we're funny.
We're
because we know a lot more people. We know a lot more things. We open ourselves up to new ideas. We open ourselves to new cultures and new things. And so we can find humor in a lot more places, whereas closed-minded Republicans, they only, you know, their only thing is like slamming liberals, which is all well and good, but you know, that's a one-trick pony so right there.
Yeah, like the Let's Go Brandon thing they made that so much bigger than it should have been. Like that wasn't even that funny at all, and they made merch off of that shit.
It was funny in the moment. It was funny in the moment to hear them fuck Joe Biden and then the reporter saying, "Hey, let's go Brandon." That was funny. That in that moment, that was funny. But them just running, let's go Brandon into the ground after that
was
no.
Yeah,
I'm there with you. You're right. Let's go Brandon is legend. But they did wear that the fuck out. But that was it. That was their only thing. They didn't have anything else. So they just kept staying on the Brandon thing, and now it's just like, okay, dude.
Right.
Kelly says my right-wing neighbor doesn't believe that lesbians can get pregnant. Couldn't there be a parody that is funny about that? Well, I would like to think so. I don't know. Funny about how can right-wing people think that lesbians can't get pregnant? Wait a minute. My right-wing neighbor doesn't believe, okay, that lesbians can get pregnant. What? Anyway, you just got to shake your head at people and just walk away when you get dumb shit like that from people. Right. You know, lesbians can't get pregnant. And then just walk away. Right. So, Let's Go Brandon was like, yeah, there was like their one shot. It's one of those, Let's Go Brandon was one of those things that was like, you ever have those friends that are not funny? They're a little bit awkward. They're not like socially awkward. They're just not funny, you know, and they try to be funny. And then the one time that they are funny and they get like a good laugh off of it, they milk that shit forever and ever. You're like 50 years down the road. Oh, hey, I haven't seen you. Hey, you remember when I pulled out my teeth on that party? Yes, that was 50 years ago. I know, right? Everybody loved it. I'm like, all right. So, so you have, you know, the one trick pony, and they get on it and they will beat that dead horse till it is powder. Right. Gamer, I would say yes. I like Dennis Miller. I always thought Dennis Miller was a funny comedian, but then when he went full on conservative, he stopped doing like jokes that went after everybody. He just started doing jokes that went after liberals. And it was like, there's more. Everybody gets a shot. Comedy knows no bounds when it comes to that. If you're not making fun of everybody, then you're not really a comedian. Or at least you're not a social comedian. You're just somebody that's just getting laughs at the expense of those that they know that they can get the laughs from, you know? Mm-hmm. I didn't know Kyle Dunnigan was conservative. Is he conservative? But I think the thing is, like, if they are conservative, they'll let out a little bit. They'll at least make their jokes a little bit more funnier nowadays. I would like to think that there's probably not that many conservative comedians. I would say there's probably more libertarian comedians with some conservative. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be in Hollywood, you got to have some sort of liberal side to you in order to just coexist with these people, right? When you think,
right? You think those three country guy comedians are conservative? The There's Your Sign, You Might Be a Redneck guys.
I'm pretty sure they are. But they kind of tend to stay apolitical in their comedy, thank goodness. You know,
is Vince Vaughn Republican, conservative?
Yeah. I'm not surprised about Dennis Leary, though. And Adam Carolla, I mean, him and Jimmy Kimmel are both a couple of pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Rob, too, but Rob is not always on, he's not always on blast about it. He just kind of, every once in a while, he has a pretty decent take on something. But for the most part, it's like, shut up, Rob. If it wasn't for Adam Sandler, nobody know who the fuck you are. Okay? Exactly. And probably still people do. Tim Allen's another one.
Really? He's conservative?
Oh yeah, he's big time.
God, all these names are like my childhood names of like shows that I watched with my parents. No wonder my parents are fucking conservative. This is crazy.
Well, I mean, you know, your parents probably came up in the same era as I did, you know, and there was a lot of conservative television back then in the 80s, because all the fucking propaganda swirling around, you know, the anti-communist propaganda was just like, especially when Reagan took president, when he became president. Oh my God, that's when it all just became like, you know, I love Red Dawn. Don't get me wrong. I think Red Dawn is like it's one of my favorite movies, but that is straight up propaganda right there. It is horrible propaganda. John Voight too. That's why him and his daughter Angelina Jolie, they don't get along. They're estranged because
Really?
her daddy
is because of his political beliefs.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, she is like totally opposite of him. Her and Brad Pitt doing like, you know, adopting all these kids and like doing all this like charity stuff. He ain't doing none of that stuff. I
didn't know that about Larry the Cable Guy too. Oh yeah, no, I knew about Larry the Cable Guy, how he's a fraud.
Oh yeah, he doesn't even have a country accent. Yeah, he's like from Ohio or something like that. I don't know where he's from, but he is not from wherever his accent suggests that he's from. We need critical thinking, of course. Labels are for cans of soup and stuff like that. Labels on people are misleading, for no two people are exactly alike, and we all agree on more things than things we disagree on, assuming that's what the D ... means. So exactly. And that's the thing. It's like these labels come into play, and you know, and that's easy. That's another thing. It's like it's easy for people to dismiss other people when they hear a label. You know, they hear this label, well, I'm a conservative, or, you know, or I'm a liberal, or I'm a progressive, or I'm, you know, then people just like, all right, I already know who you are. I'm not going to listen to your shit because I don't agree with that what that label says.
Bill Burr. What is Bill Burr? Is Bill Burr conservative or is he liberal?
I don't think he's liberal. I think he's kind of like, I think he has left-leaning socialist ideas, but not like over the top. But he plays well to Republicans because he's kind of that angry white dude, and they kind of, and you know, right. Conservatives love the angry white dude. And then they find out
that he's married to a woman of color, and they're like, "Oh shit!" Like they freak the fuck out, but they love him at first. Yeah, it's wild. I've always wanted to know what Bill Burr is because he's a great comedian. He says shit that people won't. I really like him.
Yeah, I would say he's probably a left-leaning libertarian. That sounds about right, Les Bones. That he's definitely left. He's not like conservative. I've heard a lot of his stand-up. It's not conservative. Okay. Although the Philly show, if you ever get a chance, look up Bill Burr Philly show on there, and it's one of the legendary concerts that he had. I don't know if it was a concert, if he was part of like a group of comedians. So anyway, he comes on and everybody's booing him, right? Because it's Philadelphia. Everybody in Philadelphia sucks, apparently. And they're all sad and bitter. So they start booing him, and he's doing his act. And then finally he just starts hammering on the crowd. I mean, he just goes off on the city, on the people of Philadelphia. And because it's Philadelphia, they love it. Yep. They love getting shit on by Bill Burr. And then by the end of his set, they're all cheering for him. So at the beginning, they're like booing, like boo, boo. He's like, fuck you, you all have small penises, you all suck. Philadelphia's a wasteland. I mean, I can't remember half the shit he said, but he just went on this diatribe, and you can hear like boo, and then you start hearing the ha 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 ha, and then after a while, it was just all you heard was laughter. So,
jeez. See, I
Bill
asked
Burr,
if
he's a
he's
real one.
conservative because my first impression of him that I ever had was on the Netflix cartoon F is for Family. He plays the dad in that, the voice of the dad. And it's a 70s show. So it's like a family in the 70s, and this dad is going through all this like life stuff, you know, has kids and just doesn't want to grow up and things like that. So he's super, super, super conservative in that show, like very conservative dad. So that's why I asked, because he plays a conservative so well that when I found out who the actor or the comedian was after I had seen the show and was like, oh, it's the same voice, I'm like, he's got to be this like super conservative guy who's just a comedian, because he plays it so well in F is for Family show on Netflix. So that's why I was wondering, because he does a really good job. Really good job.
Well, yeah, he gave me a conservative vibe, but Bill Burr is a lefty leaning social democrat.
He based that character on his actual dad. Jesus Christ. So what is he, the nerdy little kid that always got beat up by his dad, or was he the teenage rebel kid from F is for Family? Because he's got two sons in that show. So that would be funny. That's funny.
Yeah, he's kind of I don't know, Bill just does whatever he wants, I think. As long as they still pay him at these shows, I think he's fine.
Yeah,
so,
have you ever seen F is for Family?
No, I haven't seen it. Okay. I'll check it out though. Okay. It's funny.
It's a cartoon show on Netflix.
Okay. It's Netflix. Hilarious. So there's cursing and stuff in it too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He fucking loses his shit all the time, and he's got like this cokehead Hollywood radio show producer guy, voice talent, next door neighbor who has like bitches coming over all the time. It's fucking hilarious.
I don't know. I guess over the years my tastes have changed. I got away. I used to watch like sitcoms and stuff, like Must See TV. You know, kind of that TGI Friday stuff. But nowadays it's just like, I think the last sitcom I watched was The Big Bang Theory. You ever seen that?
Not like all the way through. No, I've seen like episodes here and there.
If you're a nerd, it's great because they make a lot of pop culture nerd references in it. But it's a sitcom. It's just like 20 something minutes, you know, and so nowadays a 30-minute show is only like 20 minutes long, if that. Because of all the commercial time that's in it. But then you get like, even with like Netflix shows and stuff like that, they pare them down so that when they play them in syndication, they'll have time to put in those commercial breaks for it too. So, I mean, it's not a bad show, but that was I think it was like early on in the pandemic. I was binge watching a lot of stuff, and I think that was one of the first things I got about. There's like 12 seasons or something like that. Some ridiculous amount of seasons. I don't even think I made it through half of it. And I was just like, done with this. I'll pick this up later. Jesus. Yeah, they'll talk about the Doctor Who on the Big Bang Theory, like what's his name? Tom Baker, like from those days.
Oh, the Scarf Doctor. Got it.
Scarf Doctor, yes. I watched some of those Doctor Who's when I was a little kid. It was on PBS, and I do remember the Tom Baker days. I think those are the only ones. I think that's the one when I was a little kid. That's who the Doctor was Tom Baker. Yeah, and the scarf. You always remembered that fucking scarf, and he had a hat too, but it was always a scarf. Always a scarf.
Scarf is beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you watched any of the newer Doctor Who's? Like with
I haven't watched it since The Girl. No.
Oh, so since what's her face took over. Yeah, well, the only woman who's played the Doctor, I guess. See, I got to David, let's see. there was what's his name? Eccleston. Christopher
right?
Christopher, yeah, Christopher Eccleston. I loved him. And he was only there for a year. I was like, what? What are you doing? Why are you taking away? And then I said, they're going to do this every year? Have a different doctor every year? Because at first I was like, all right, so he morphs into David Tennant, right? You know, because that's what the doctor does whenever it's time to, change. And I was like, no, this guy's going to suck. But then I started watching, I was like, David Tennant was like one of my favorites, if not my favorite doctor.
Yeah, he was the Alonzi guy. I loved him.
He's great. David Tennant's great in Good Omens with Michael Sheen. I think that's on. I can't remember. That might be on Amazon Prime, I think.
Okay.
But they got a second season. That's a really good show too. If you like David Tennant and you like Michael Sheen, definitely check out Good Omens. And also, bonus tip, get on YouTube, look for Michael Sheen and David Tennant when they were doing Zoom calls to each other during the pandemic. And they're all like, it's the so hair's great. All fucked up. Oh, you've seen those? Yeah, and he's like, Michael Sheen's got like this huge fucking beard, and David Tennant looks like he's strung out because they're at the house. They're at their own houses. They're not going to dress up for this fucking shit. And they made an actual like TV show out of it. It was pretty good.
It was so good. I love watching them together because David Tennant to me is obviously Doctor Who, and then Michael Sheen, I remember him from Underworld. So I remember seeing him as like this like, super dark, very serious creature being, vampire lichen kind of serious person. So seeing him joking around with Doctor Who is just absolutely mind-blowing to me. And I didn't realize that they were such good friends either. That it's so fun to watch those two together. A fucking blast.
Yeah, I mean, if you like the pandemic videos, you'll like Good Omens because I think Michael Sheen plays like an angel, and David Tennant plays like a minion of Satan or something. But they're somehow they're friends, and it's really good writing and it's really good acting and stuff too. Oh, that's right. He was Kilgrave in Jessica Jones. I watched that for a while. I like that show. I remember, he was a son of a bitch in that show. He was like a really sick fucker in that one.
He was a really bad guy in one of the Harry Potter films as well, David Tennant.
That's right. So he's got pretty good acting range. He can do comedy and like physical comedy pretty good, but like when it comes to like the serious dark stuff, he's good at that too. Yeah. And you'll find that a lot of comedic actors are able to do drama really well because they play on the same emotions that they use for comedy. It's like comedy and drama. It's like you've got the main path, and then it splits off to comedy and drama. But it's basically they're both coming from the same place, right? There's the same inspiration for both, because both are based on life experiences, both are based on your emotional state and that sort of thing. So like, there could be some really shitty things in your past you can that happened to you that you can either dramatize, and just really bring out the darkness in it, or you could just totally parody and make fun of and just turn it into like one simple memory can turn into two totally different things. That's what I love about the inspiration for comedy and for drama in that respect, especially those actors that have the range like that too. We are getting close to the end here, my dear. And I did want people to see this before we go. Oh, wait. Not that. I forgot to put pants on. Thank you. Woo!
Are you good now? That was a close one.
Good thing this camera's on a steady tripod.
That's right.
Anyway, before we go, our buddy Turncoat Don, you know Don, right? From the tweeters and from
Twitter, yeah.
So last week we were talking about who were we talking about last week? We were talking about Shama Sawant and Ryan Grimm were on the Bad Faith podcast, right? So we played a little clip of that and showing you how Shama basically went off on Ryan Grimm. I try to share people like Joe, shut the fuck up, shit lib Joe, Turncoat Don. They're all great graphics and video editors. We always like to showcase them in the space because they're good guys and they're doing it for good reasons. So Don did what is this called? If words were violence. So he has a series of videos that he does called If Words Were Violence, right? And it's basically some person just verbally bitch slapping the hell out of the other one, and he shows like physical injuries and stuff to the person getting bitch slapped. So this one, like I said, we talked about this last week and showed a little clip of her just getting on him, but this one is a little more in depth, and I think we should take a look at it there. So oh yeah, okay, works. All right, so let's check this out, and hopefully the sound is on. Maybe we'll see.
So, but maybe the workers don't want to be part of this fantasy play.
What the actual fuck? We on the left. I'm not talking about people like Ryan. I mean, those of us who genuinely want to defend working people, we have the obligation to call out both elected officials who have betrayed us and also the labor leaders who have betrayed us. I don't know how much Ryan actually knows about the labor movement. I have been a rank and file member of the labor movement. I've been a delegate to the Labor Council. I have spent 10 years as an elected representative. Nobody in their right mind, Ryan, maybe despite being a political analyst, you thought that the Senate, there was any chance of the Senate voting yes on a paid sick leave bill? Yeah, Ryan Grimm doesn't worry. The workers who are listening to this understand that he's engaging in sophistry and he's completely misrepresenting what I said. The truth, though, is it's not about Ryan Grimm. It is about people like him. We cannot trust people like Ryan Grimm. Ryan Grimm says, never let politicians out of your sight, while at the same time defending those same politicians who have sold out working people. I would say to working people, never let politicians out of your sight, but never let people like Ryan Grimm out of your sight. Politicians couldn't sell workers out without the Ryan Grimms of the world defending their betrayals. Politicians rely on the left cover of people exactly like Ryan here, making the rounds, making excuses for vicious attacks on the working class. Not only that, but turning around and accusing fighters for workers, socialists like myself, as somehow being against workers. I've seen this all the time in Seattle. If the Democrats on the council weren't given cover by people like them, they would not be able to do what they do, which is sell workers out over and over again.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
I love the Chris Tucker at the end of his video. You got knocked the fuck out, man! And you know this, man. Oh.
You got knocked the fuck out.
Oh my God, that was so good. I love those videos because, like, yeah, everything she said was a slap in his face. And
talk about watching out for the Ryan Grimms of the world. Like, damn, bitch, right to his face and everything. Like, Fuck.
Well, if you're gonna have a
Only
shitty
I could be
haircut
a
on
fly
TV,
on the wall. If only.
if only you could be his shitty haircut for one day, and then you'll know what it's like to rest upon a pile of shit.
That's right.
Wait, what? Yeah, Willie, Turncoat Don is awesome. That was by Turncoat Don. You can check him out on the YouTubes. Just look for Turncoat Don. He has his own channel. Please like and subscribe to his channel because he is funny. He's a good guy too. Known him for a little bit. Or at least known of him in our little circles that we run in. Yes, you saw Willie earlier tonight played one of his other videos, I think. Was it this one you played? You played something else, right? You did a If Words Were Violence too, I think. So also check out Willie Bragg on YouTube too. He's also now a member of KRTD, part of your little brood there, Jimmy Jam.
That's right. That's right. I reeled him in, baby. I'm just kidding. I am so honored to have him a part of us. He's so awesome.
Jimmy is the siren on the rocks, calling the sailors to her and to their demise. Yeah, so I didn't know where to fit in that Turncoat Don video. We were just flowing all over the place. I was like, but I really wanted to show the kids that. And so like Don and Shut the Fuck Up, Shitlib Joe, a bunch of others too. There are a lot of really up and coming video editors, especially when it comes to like political satire and stuff like that. We need more of that kind of stuff. We need more variety of information for people to consume. You know, it can't just be news all the time. That's why we do this show. We kind of we talk about some serious stuff on here sometimes, but for the most part, this is just a place for you to congregate with your fellow lefties or your fellow whoever, you know, whatever your ideology is. If you come to watch this show, we try not to, you know, pick sides, but at the same time, you want to pick issues and stick with those and be consistent too. You don't have to stick with an ideology, but it is kind of important to stick to important issues that you feel strongly about. I know you do, Jimmy. I have some too, but you know, but sometimes you got to yuck it up. You got to have some laughs. You know, we laugh, keep from crying.
That's right.
Or going to jail, because I don't have bail money. I don't have bail money. Not at all.
That's all right.
If I go to jail, I'm stuck.
Same here, but I look really good in orange, so that's okay.
I look like Ronald McDonald in orange. You know, did somebody say McDonald's? No, nobody said McDonald's. You can go back, Ronald. Go have fun with the Hamburglar and the fry guy, whoever the fuck that guy is. Kelly, you are not bailing me out of jail. You will definitely be in jail with me. In fact, we will probably be in jail together because of you. So, which I'm down for. I'm here for that. As long as it's for a good cause, that's all that matters to me. So here we are, triple deuces on the East Coast, 222 in the morning. You got any announcements or anything for next week? Anything fun coming up?
Not anything special, just my regular show. I've got Sherry coming on Friday. That's about it.
I still don't have a guest for Monday's show or the Extra Bulla show. I don't know. I'll have to see. This is a weird time of year because we're going to be doing Friday the 23rd. We will be doing our second annual Festivus show. So I will have the Festivus poll. I'll have it here in studio. And And there will be no feats of strength because it is the internet and it's kind of hard to wrestle somebody through a digital medium. But there will be what we don't have in physical feats of strength. We will definitely have the airing of grievances. Probably a lot of grievances. You know, like George Costanza says, I got a lot of problems with you people, and you're going to hear about it. So, but you just found out about Festivus, right? I told you about that.
Yeah, I'm still learning about it. I got to figure out what kind of grievances I need to air.
The hardest part is picking out the best ones because there's so many. There's so many grievances that we all have. But, you know.
But do you pick out personal ones or like ones that are going on in the world that you're just worried about?
I mean, if you have a problem with a person or a thing outside of yourself, I think that counts. So,
okay.
But if you have a problem with yourself, that's just self-loathing. That's you know, that's all it is. It's nothing fun. Right. It's just kind of sad. Yeah, you like Seinfeld, right? Didn't you say that was your favorite show?
That's disgusting. I can't. How dare you?
I didn't say that Seinfeld starred Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, you're gonna make me throw up.
Yeah. Limp Seinfeld.
God.
Chocolate starfish. I like that song "Rollin'" though. I will say this about Limp Bizkit. I do like that song "Rollin'." I was working this TV station on the coast, and we were doing this promo video. We covered the New Orleans Saints, right? So we did this promo video for the Saints, and we used that song "Rollin'." You know, I keep rolling, rolling, rolling. I keep rolling, 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 rolling. Now I know y'all be loving this right here. Limp Bizkit in the house, LIMP. Because I was using that song to edit the video, and then I had like some really good action shots on there too. It was like I really got to like that song. I like that song, but I don't like any other Limp Bizkit song.
I like
Rollin'.
Faith. That's the only one I can handle is Faith.
We used to do that at karaoke. We'd get like really hammered. It'd be like one of the last songs of the night because everybody's fucking trashed. And so, you know, well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know that everybody has a body like you.
Oh my God.
Because you gotta have faith. You gotta have faith. It sounded like you were vomiting. And then you usually made that sound later because you thought about Limp Bizkit and then you were drunk and then you threw up for real. Yeah. Wait, Ben Stiller was in the Limp Bizkit video? I can't stand that guy even more.
I don't know.
Ben Stiller. Yeah. Anyway, so Friday night, I'm not quite sure when we're going to do it Friday night. Probably earlier in the evening. Festivus is also metric conversion day, so everyone bone up for the test afterwards. You said bone. And then Saturday night, you and I will be back, maybe. If Santa doesn't whisk you away in his sled. So Saturday night we will be, I'll have to look this up this week, but Saturday night we will be tracking Santa as he crosses the planet, and we'll make up little places where he stops, and then we'll give him a tragic story, like he tried to go down the chimney of this house, but it turned out it was really one of these funeral homes that has the cremator in it. Goes down the cremator instead. Oh, Santa! But he's Santa. He lives, you know, because he's Santa. You can't kill Santa.
That's right.
You think Santa has immortality?
Yes. I mean, if he's real, then yeah, obviously, yeah.
Of course he's real. Sure. But I mean, so he has the superpower, tying it all back together from the top. So Santa has one superpower, that's immortality. He has a superpower of being able to go up and down chimneys, make him like shape shifting or morphing his body, right? He has a magic sack. That's what Mrs. Claus says. It's like his sack is magic. I got nothing. So yeah, so that's gonna be next Saturday. Not sure who is coming on Monday. I may do just a little fun one-off show on Monday myself. Maybe pick a topic and just get on that. Maybe we could do like a little deeper dive into these Twitter files. I know I could probably go through them again and pick out some stuff. Very revealing stuff in that Elon allowed Matt Taibbi and what's her name? Barry Weiss, I think. He let those two have at all the information.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy shit, but that's for another time, in another place, in another season. So, I want to thank everybody who is watching this wonderful program, for watching it with us. We do this for fun, but we also do this for you. If you'd like to help us out, we have our link trees pinned in the chat, but also let's see, let me pull this up here. Yeah, so that's Jimmy's link tree, and that's my link tree, and you can find all our platforms that we're on, donation links and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to find out what we're up to, you can find our social media links there. Come say hi. Be a nice person. Don't be a douche. We're nice people. You're nice. I'm okay. All right.
All right.
I could be better, but
Yeah.
it's just too much energy. I don't want.
Way too much.
I think we can leave people with this. Kelly says, I stand by my dual superpowers of bringing comfort and joy to all those that deserve it, banishing all animal torturers to hell. Sounds
right.
good.
Power to Kelly. What the fuck was that?
I got this little shelf over here and I hit it. I didn't. You ever do that? You like hit something you don't expect to hit it and you're like, what was that? That was unexpected.
You just did the knife hands afterwards. You're like, ooh, ooh.
We're gonna fight. Yankee Tanky. Hello, welcome. You're at the tail end of the show, but there's you can always watch the replay, and that's what it's good for. It'll be available as soon as this stream is over. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else going on? So okay, so the Festivus is Friday the 23rd. We're gonna be doing that. We'll be doing a Christmas Eve show on the 24th, which will technically be Christmas morning by the time we get on here on the East Coast. And then the next week, the next weekend is going to be New Year's Eve weekend. And you want to tell people what you can about the KRTD New Year's Eve stuff?
So far from what I know, just the whole day from, I believe it's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time till 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or midnight Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what time they're wanting to end it, but I know 9 a.m. Eastern over at KRTD, also on the Sabby Sab show, also on Hardlands Media, and also on Chicago Corner, or all four of us are going to be streaming together an all-day New Year's Eve live stream party. Everybody's going to have their own time slots. I believe it's going to start out early in the morning with some of the MMTers. So they've got their MMT panels, and then I believe it's going to be Chicago Corner, Hardlands Media, And then I believe later on in the evening, I know that Misty is going to bring on a panel of people for some Julian Assange stuff. KRTD is going to have their own panel times to do their top 10 news stories of the year. And then whatever happens in between those times, I think there's going to be some music intermissions for about an hour long in those time slots as well, to kind of give people an hour just to, go and listen to music and do whatever. Last year, I believe we had Jesse, Jett, Yona, and Lele Pons. So we're hoping this year we're going to have probably the same people, hopefully, I think. I know that Yona is going to be joining one of them this year. So that's what we're going to be doing for December 31st. Just keep an eye out for all those channels. Like I said, KRTD Media, Sabby Sabs, Hardlands Media, and the Chicago Corner are all going to be streaming it on their channel the entire day on December 31st. So
I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. I like it when people get together and do these like all day streams like that for various purposes. I think we had the student debt. I think INN had a student debt summit that we did for a whole day. I know they RBN does those too. With what do they do that for? For direct action, mutual aid, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff. Next weekend is going to be the Christmas Eve stuff. And then the weekend after that, after all the KRTD and the Hardlands Media stuff during the day at midnight Eastern, we will be officially bringing in the new year here in New York City. And we'll start the show off. We might start the show off a little bit early, like get the music started about 15 minutes early, and then we might do an actual I have something prepared. I made a little video, just a little tiny thing to help with the bringing the new year in. It's become a tradition for me now. I won't say what it is right now. I don't want to give away the surprise, but yeah, I'm not going to hype it either. It's nothing great, but it's going to be little funsies for New Year's Eve. So, and we'll be safe here in Brooklyn. We won't be in Times Square where all the nuts are. So, that is something I would never want to do. I've been here for almost, God, how long? Almost 14 years. And I have never been to Times Square for New Year's Eve. I want nothing to do with that. It is an all day slog. If you don't know anything about it, you got to get there early in the morning. Remember, this is at midnight, right? So you got to be there like at least, 18 hours before, and then you can't really go anywhere. If you got to go pee or something, good luck with that. So I think it should be stuff that you should actually enjoy instead of something you survive, but anyway, that's just me complaining about crowds. So,
it's the same out in Vegas and New Year's. Like if you want to go to New Year's Eve out in Vegas, you have to go like 2 days ahead because just the traffic to get in Vegas, because there's like coming from the south, there's only one way in. It's like the traffic is like 8 hours long. It's ridiculous. You're there the entire day in traffic just trying to get into Vegas. And then if you haven't like set a hotel room for yourself, you're not getting one. You're sleeping in your fucking car. That's just it. Or hopefully you got a friend out there that lives there. Yeah.
It reminds me of Mardi Gras in New Orleans. I went one time on actual Mardi Gras Day, Fat Tuesday. Never do that again. It was just a sea of people. It was literally like rivers of people. If you got into a group of people, you were following those people until you found a side street to get off of or something like that. It's just crazy amount of people.
Jeez.
Yeah, you would think, oh, great energy. But yeah, like 90% of them are hammered. You're talking about a couple of million people in a not so big city, I'm just saying, it's just,
Yep.
If you do, I'll say this, if you do Times Square, if you do Mardi Gras, you doing any of that crazy, do it while you're young. Because when you're old, you ain't gonna want to do that shit. You don't even want to leave the house. It's like, this couch is comfy. Do you have any final thoughts, any words of wisdom for the kids before we get out of here?
Stay mad, get angry, or what does I say? I always say it and then I forget it. Stay mad,
get bent, stay mad, go fuck
get
yourself,
organized, stay
eat
empathetic.
shit.
I have no idea.
I heard you say suck my dick
Just
once.
stay
You said suck my dick once, and I was like,
that's right. Say hi, stay high and suck my dick. That's right.
Blue Dags, hi on Twitch. Blue Dags, thank you for watching. You were just in time for the end.
Dick.
I know, right? Blue Dags, never seen the show before. First thing they hear is suck my dick. It's not that kind of show. Well, it kind of is, in a way, but it's all it's a matter of context. Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, right. Wash your fruits and vegetables.
That's solid advice.
It is.
You want to eat no dirty ass turnips, right? Clean that shit off, have some self-respect.
Anthony says present it. You do not want me to bring my dicks out, okay? You just don't.
She has Dick Cheney, Dick Nixon,
Dick James.
Dick Clark, Dick James. There was a guy named Dick Johnson. There was a guy named Dick Johnson.
Marilyn Coxon.
Hey, would you blow me? What's your name? Haywood. What's your last name? Did you blow me? Wait a minute. Anyway, I always hate to end these shows because that means the show's over, and then it means the fun's over. Willie, I'm putting this up. I am totally calling your ass out. I am weird, but I always wash my dick after it gets. I know it says suck. It's supposed to be sucked, but after it gets sicked. So you let your penis get ill, and then you wash it. That's a little weird, dude. Dick pinch. There's Dirty Dick Slater. Just say Rick Zwiener out loud. Rick Zwiener out loud.
Sweeter.
He meant picked? No, he didn't. Don't speak for him. You're not his he said sucked. He even said it right there. You're the worst lawyer ever. Miguel, is it Dirty Minds? Hell, ain't no Dirty Minds. We're putting all this shit out on Front Street, man. We saved the best for last. Anyway, we gotta get the fuck out of here. It's 20 to 3 a.m. But I tell you what, though, I am so glad I had that coffee earlier this evening. I had coffee around 9 o'clock tonight. Ooh, good.
Trick for you.
Oh, ain't nothing better than Bodega Colombian coffee. Oh my god, just like
fuck Willie, damn.
It's not from. I want my dick clean for. Well, Willie, go clean your dick right now. Go clean it right now, Willie. Willie, go clean your willy. Go clean your willy, Willie.
I would, Joe. Wash your taint. Don't forget the taint part.
Joe!
That's very important.
What's up, Joe? Yes, it's right. Because the ass is close by. It's in the neighborhood. Boy, this show went sideways in the last 2 minutes. That's great.
Love it. I love it.
Thanks to Willie. Willie and his TMI moment there.
That's great. I'm here for it. I'm fucking here for it.
What? Rick says, no joke. I went to high school with a hairy and Kanita dick. I don't believe that. Rick,
That's awesome.
are you telling tales out of school? All right. Joe, off to work. Jesus Christ. Don't work too hard today, brother. Love you too. Okay, now we're gonna finally end this fucking show. I've stalled long enough. Although I do want to read this before we go. I found out from the big pharma commercials that the taint is known as the perineum. Now you know.
Now you know.
It's also known as the gooch and grundle. I've heard grundle. Yeah, have you ever heard anything else? Grundle is hot. Grundle sounds like some sort of Lord of the Rings character that they have to, you know, they have to traverse on their way to Mount Doom. You know. Hey, California Fools, hooking it up. What's up? Yep, grundle. I've heard. I got in a conversation with this out in Cali at the bookstore I was working at with some employees, and I said, "Look, is it taint? Is it grundle? Is it gooch? What's the top?" A lot of people would say taint, and then but you'd get those grundle people. You're like, forget grundle. Like, what?
All right.
Thanks for that. Whatever. The more you know. A taint is also known as a grundle. The more you know. Anyway, thanks all y'all for watching. There's too many of you to shout out, but you know we all love you. And Joe says wash the inside of your pee hole too. Yes, definitely. You don't want to get any smegma in there. You don't want smegma. Smegma is a no-go. Grundle sounds like a mid-boss in a video game. Yeah, it sounded like it. Yankee says, I say tisn't. Did you wash your tisn't? Did we just get raided? Did we get raided? There were some folks. If you're on Twitch, hello. Welcome to the last 30 seconds of this show. Thanks, gamer. We love you, brother. I hope all of you have a great night at Santorum. That's funny. All right. I gotta get out of here. I love all y'all. Thank you, Jimmy, as always. Looking forward. I mean, the holidays are usually kind of suck for me, but I'm kind of looking forward to it with all these shows that you got planned and KRTD has planned and all the Chicago folks have planned and stuff. So, Jerry, I appreciate you, brother. I'm looking forward to seeing you the next week or so. Be gentle, you know. We're just sensitive, simple folk. Well, I guess I am. I can't speak for you in that respect because that would sound like a fucking insult. So I'm not going to say that about you. Good night, everybody. Have a good one. Wash your ash, wash your taint, wash your gooch, wash your grundle.
Say no to smegma.
Say no to smegma, folks. Exactly. And with that, deuces. Love all y'all. Peace. Tisn't.
Shut up, bitch!
Groovy.